Hello every YouTube buddy! This is my small series that covers the Diablo 3 Open Beta Weekend, which happened on April the 21st through the 22nd of 2012. This is the main screen, like the login screen, and right now I can't get in. They're doing some concurrency testing and they're increasing the number of users allowed to connect to different servers, but this is the first screen you get. This is where, assuming you have a Battle.net account already, this is where you type in your email, which is your account name, and then your password, and then you'd get in. And in fact, you can see the message over to the right. It explains that we can't get in right now. I was going to show you some options, but let's skip that. Let's just jump right into the character creation screen. This isn't the hero I'm using. I'm actually going to create a new one, and it's going to be a demon hunter, I think. Or no, it's going to be a witch doctor. And then, because I've noticed that this isn't a very popular class, and I wanted to feature it. So what did I call him? I called him Abasnapula. So now I'm going to join two of my friends who are also YouTubers. They upload some good videos. In fact, they might even be uploading the same footage from their perspective. Their YouTube names are EzioCroft and FNB Tips and Tricks. These are the two guys. So we've got three different character classes, which is what I wanted. I was hoping we'd all pick different ones. This is the profile. That was my profile, my entire Battle.net profile. It shows all of the different classes and all the different, or the amount of hours that I spent with each class. And now we're just kind of coordinating and trying to get things started. We're not going to show you the introduction where you discover this town called New Tristram, which is a popular location in Diablo, the entire Diablo series. We're going to jump into a battle that takes place as we're leaving New Tristram. So we've already discovered it and talked to a few townsfolk, and that's where we're going to jump into now. Alright, so here we are in the first battle. Now it might be a little disorienting at first to tell who's who, but I'm always in the center, and then my other party members have green bars above them. You're also seeing the different skills that we started with. We're using them at random throughout this first battle, and it was kind of hard to tell which skills were whose, but I have a poison dart right now, and then I've also got a dagger. That's what I'm using. EzioCroft has, I'm not sure what he has, I think he's got a crossbow. And then KrundleCrack has a battle axe for the moment, but I think we've all leveled up just now, and I unlocked a new skill, and oh, that's not it, Corpse Spiders, it's in the other slot. Yeah, it's in my secondary slot. I've unlocked Grasp of the Dead. Let's you summon ghoulish hands that pop up out of the ground, and they'll slow enemies. So it's almost like a secondary weapon you use initially. See, and there it is right there. So anyone in that area of effect will slow down, and then it allows us to use our other powers, like our primary skill. And you'll see us level up quite a few times in this series. In fact, I think we'll level up yet again in this video. Oh, that's me just using Grasp of the Dead again. I wanted to show my party members what it looks like so they're not spooked right in the middle of battle. Like KrundleCrack has used a special skill that caught me off guard, and I thought I was being attacked by something. Okay, so this is me using the Grasp of the Dead on this group of Risen, which are undead, and I think I'm going to use it again here. Yeah, see, and it's kind of hard to tell how effective it is, but it does slow down all of the enemies. Now, by the way, if you look over to the right, you'll see our objectives. We're not just brainlessly attacking everything in sight. We've got particular objectives. We have to kill wretched mothers, and they're these undead monsters that belch out these Risen, which are all undead creatures. And there's one right there. So there, we killed one out of three of them. Then there's also a wretched queen that we'll eventually have to face. Now, oh, that was me making a mistake. I lost track of which keys to use. I got stuck using like the W, A, S, and D keys, thinking that was my movement keys. It's not at all. It's a point-and-click movement system in Diablo 3, just like it was in Diablo, the first two. Now, in this next sequence, I encourage my party members to go around and explore everything, and the reason is, there's loot hiding all over the place in any area, in the form of a stump like here, or a statue, or some other landmark. Sometimes like a wooden wagon you can destroy, and then there will be loot inside the wagon. You do have to loot because that's the main way to develop your wealth, and you need wealth to be able to buy better weapons and armor. And if you don't do that, then the monsters that level up along with you throughout the game, their difficulty level will just be beyond what you can handle, even on like a easy setting. So okay, now here I think we just encountered one more risen, and here's a small horde. I'm using my Grasp of the Dead skill again. I think we're going to be dealing with a couple more hordes this way. And by the way, this old Tristram Road area in Act 1 is quite linear, but you do still want to explore and loot every area. Like I just knocked over some barrels there. And by the way, the loot is shared, so the loot that you see on the screen is just my loot. When I break open a barrel or bust open a stump like this, if there is loot, they can pick it up too. They can pick up the same loot. And there's a health globe right there, see that? And when EzioCroft ran over the health globe, it replenished all of our health. And these health globes are a way to instantly heal, and it's the primary way to heal in Diablo 3. Oh, there's a scarecrow. So whatever, see, I picked up a hand axe, but they pick up something else, and I don't see what they pick up. You know, they've got their own loot to deal with. There was a broken wagon I think I can break. Yep, see? Sometimes there will be loot there, and there's a stump with more loot. Now, you can also, in addition to those health globes, you can also find health potions, or like vials of health, and I've got some of those in my inventory. In fact, I think I'm going to open it up now. Yeah, so you can see the vials over there on the left. I've got 8 of them. It's the red potion. And I think this is the first time I show you. I'm manipulating my character a little bit. I'm adding some things that I looted to my person to increase my armor rating. I did find a better sword that replaces the dagger that I started with, and they're probably doing the same thing too. You know, every once in a while the party should coordinate like a rest stop where you can do some inventory management. You know, you just don't want to bang around haphazardly all through the level without managing your character. Okay, I'm using Poison Dart right there, and I can't remember what that that skill is that that KrundleCrack is using. There were some rodents over to the in the bottom of the screen. I missed that loot right there. Okay, so now we're going to go into a dungeon. This is our first dungeon. In general, there's just loot laying around for whatever reason. Yeah, there's another... What was that? Was that a health potion? Or, I don't know. Yeah, there's some health globes. Anytime we run over it, you know, not that we need it, because this is a pretty easy dungeon right here, then we'll replenish our health. And I think this is a dead end, but it's still useful to explore every nook and cranny in these dungeons. The only thing I don't like is you can't sprint. You know, you're stuck at a particular speed. It's a very constant speed, and I don't think that there are any passive speed buffs or anything, so you're pretty much stuck at the speed throughout the entire game. Now, you might have noticed that a little while ago, in the middle of that battle, I reached a new level. So I'm going to replace my Poison Dart with Corpse Spiders, which is another primary skill of mine. And then I'll test it out right here. I throw a little potion and it unleashes spiders. So the initial strike hurts the monster, but then the spiders will do additional damage. And I think I carried that around for a while, just to kind of gauge how well it works in combat. Okay, so in a second we'll head back out. Looks like I missed some loot over in the top part of the screen, but oh well. I'll miss loot every once in a while. It's not the end of the world. Back out to Old Tristram Road, and hopefully we'll find some hordes of undead, and we can try this new spider spell. Oh yeah, and also these broken wagons you can loot like that. There I go again, I missed another piece of loot. So, and here's another dungeon. There's actually, dungeons are quite plentiful. Most of them are fairly small, at least in the Act 1, which we're in now. Like this dank cellar is probably small. So,
this chest is empty. Did the creatures take the treasure?
that's the voice of my character. That's the witch doctor's voice, but all the voices for each character is different. Okay, so I try out the spiders a few times. And by the way, sorry if anyone is arachnophobic, but if you're arachnophobic, you definitely don't want to take the witch doctor. And just like in Diablo 2, there are quite a few different monster types that are arachnid. Quite a few spider monsters in this one. So you might, I don't know if there's going to be any mods to replace the spiders with something that's non-arachnid, but yeah. Oh, you can deal with it. Come on. They're not real. It's just CGI versions of what you're afraid of. My particular phobia is ants. I'm absolutely terrified of ants, but in these fantasy games with ants, or even in the Fallout series where we had giant mutated ants, I got over my fear pretty easily. Okay, here I'm doing some more inventory management and throwing a few new things on my character. And then at this point we discover how to share items. So you see what happened? EzioCroft just dropped a sword and then KrundleCrack took it. That's how you do it. You just take an item from your inventory, like what I'm doing now, and you just drag it. Well, let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, you drag it out, and then the other players can see that, and they can pick it up. But I don't think... I think the bow that he had was already better than what I offered, so... Okay, so anyway, we're back outside, and... yeah, it's this way to more of the... Actually, we've killed all of the wretched mothers, so now we have to find the wretched queen. And... this looked like something we could loot. I don't know why it wouldn't let me loot it. But anyway, oh, they already got to it. This is interesting. And every checkpoint we reach, it essentially is a save point. That's what it really is. And by the way, you see how this destruction works in the game. It's digital molecular matter. That's the engine that they're using for these for those kind of physics. It's the same DMM engine that was used in the Force Unleashed series. Here's a good example of all of our skills at work and how things can get disorienting because there's just so many things going on the screen at one time. There, so EzioCroft picked up a health globe, replenished all of our health. I haven't really had any problem with health, and I've never been near death yet. And I think it's partly because we're in the beginning of the game, and I've got 2 party members. And so anyway, we're exploring this tiny hamlet right here, and I'm just kind of showing my party members how I try to loot everything. Most of these houses you actually can't enter and loot, but loot usually is hiding behind the houses, like on the side of the house or like behind the chimney, like here, right there. That's a good example. I don't know if they even noticed that there's loot over here, but there's some, I don't know, just walking by a house is enough to make it collapse. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so I think we've seen all that we can see here, and oh no, I guess not. I don't know where this horde came from, but good. So I can actually throw as many of those vials of spiders as I need to, and I can totally overrun an entire group with like 20 or 30 spiders if I'm fast enough. But the spiders disappear, or they dissolve pretty quickly, see? So now there are some passive skills, and I haven't even one a passive skill yet, but a lot of the passive skills will extend the duration, like they'll extend the strength of skills, other skills, and you can use those to your advantage. Then in addition to that, there are these runes that you can use to modify your skills, and that's interesting. We haven't even touched on that yet. Later on we'll probably deal with that. Okay, so now we're in a dark cellar, and I think that this is another small, this is another fairly small dungeon, just to test out our new skills since we've leveled up. And yeah, I think we have a pretty good complement of skills. They tend to work with each other, like my it's called, the Hands of the Dead. That tends to slow down monsters. Then the other two party members can dispatch them more effectively. Okay, now I'm going to replace my older stuff with some newer stuff, and it's pretty easy to figure out if whatever you're looking at is better than what you're currently wearing. Like, there's a good no, I guess that wasn't a good example. 6, 7, 9. Yeah, I'm already wearing some good stuff. I like how it compares the two side by side. That's pretty useful. Oh, and by the way, you can see my level up progress. It's the orange bars near the slot area in the bottom center of the screen. Oh, and my party member says, God, the game is addicting. It sure is. Well, anyway, this is a good place to end. We have more footage that we recorded, but I'll continue that in the second video. So if you like this first Diablo 3 open beta video, then click the like button, and you can subscribe to my channel. Then you'll get Diablo 3 videos, Skyrim videos, Fallout 3, Mass Effect 3, all kinds of good stuff in your inbox. And add a comment and share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time in the world of Sanctuary. Thanks for watching.